Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. And yeah, I know. I said I was going to record every chapter, but I didn't. But I had to come back for 1000. Come on, guys. It's 1,000 chapter 1000. Only a few mangaka in the world could say they ever gotten 1,000 chapters. So we got to give it up to Oda. This is a huge milestone for him and all the One Piece fan who's been following since chapter 1 or 200, whatever chapter he came on. It's been a long journey, and we still got a good bit to go. But story is amazing, and got to give it up to Oda for keeping such a high quality story going for such a long time and being the number one comic or manga in the world. That's amazing. But give it up to Oda for that. But jumping into the chapter though, we're gonna go basically scene by scene just to talk about certain things I saw and have a little small discussion about it basically. So the chapter opens up, we have Luffy basically at the stairs. He finally made it to the stairs now, and he is greeted by the musketeers and like the loyal guards. I don't know what's the other people called, because I know Nekomamushi's people are like the musketeers, like the three musketeers, or there were four of them, I believe at one point. And I don't remember what dogs people were called. So whatever, they're the loyal guards, and they made way for Luffy. So basically they kind of took out all the little scrubs, and they're just waiting out the stairs for Luffy, which is like one thing I would say about the whole chapter. Luffy has this aura about him, like a real leader, even though he's an airhead at times. Like he has such reverence and such like respect and just kind of like badassness throughout the whole chapter. Like for 1000, like Luffy really looks good and really like badass this whole chapter. I gotta um put that out there. And the next thing we have is basically we have Sicilian crying. Sicilian or Sicilian, whatever. He's crying, and I'm guessing he's crying because there have been deaths. But later we'll get to that later on when we get into the chapter, talk about it. But we know everybody's been defeated already since the last chapter, chapter 999. We know that all the Red Scabbards have been defeated by Kaido, by Magikarp or Gyarados. So I don't know why he's crying. Is there somebody dead, or they're just incapacitated? We'll find out. So Luffy runs up the stairs, and then we cut to Marco. Marco is sending Zoro up to the top of the castle to go fight Kaido with the other boys and whatnot. And one thing I like to point out in that scene is that we see that Queen, he's an ancient Zoan, but his body's not acting like an ancient Zoan would. So I can't tell at this point if it is modifications that he modified his fruit, similar to how Chopper was able to modify his fruit to get different aspects of it down. He is like a engineer, mechanic type thing, so maybe he was able to tweak his fruit around and make it work the way he wants it to work. But it looks mechanicalized, so I'm not sure what that is, what's going on with him. If I had to put money on it, I would say he tinkered with his fruit to make it do things that it wouldn't naturally do if it was somebody else using the fruit. Because we could also remember, I don't remember his name, but the giraffe fruit user, like with the long neck, he was able to bring his neck in and like contort his body too. So maybe it's similar to that when you have a great degree of understanding of your fruit. But I wouldn't say the giraffe guy from CP9 had a great understanding of his fruit when he only had his fruit for like maybe 10-30 minutes before he started fighting Zoro. He was actually still learning techniques about his fruit when the fight started. But Queen, I'm assuming Queen has had his fruit for a lot longer. So don't know what it is there. But something to note as well is that Marco is fighting both of them at the same time, or at least restraining them. I can't say he's winning the fight or losing the fight per se. but it's a 2-on-1, and he's able to restrain them and still send Zoro flying up to the roof of the castle. So I don't know what that says about Queens and Kings power levels, that Marco is able to restrain them, but it's not really boding well that they're like, being like, frustrated with Marco, that's being able to hold him back. Obviously they can't do any damage to Marco, but still, come on, I don't know. It just seems weird to me. So after that part, we skip over to basically to Kaido's daughter. I don't know why I had a brain freeze right there. Kaido's daughter, and he's talking to Momo and the ninja. So she's basically just running down still telling the story about Luffy and his brother and all that. And she said that somebody kept it's not that she found the journal after she went into the castle, like ransacking it or something. She found it next to a river or something like it seemed like somebody was keeping it safe from being destroyed. And at this point, I don't know who it might have been that was keeping the book safe. So if I would have to put money on it, it would have to be one of the scabbers that was left behind that didn't time travel. So it'd probably be Denjiro, Kinemon, Komatsu, or Ashuradoji. I'm not sure. Cat and Dog, I don't think Neko and Inuashi was not there at the time, so I don't think it's either one of them. So I don't know who was keeping it safe. Yeah, I don't know who was keeping it safe. Some people might start, conspiracy theories, start thinking that it might be the wife. But she died. Toki died with the time fruits. I don't know, and I don't think she would just abandon the journal just like that. So who knows who was keeping it safe? But that was something pretty interesting. And one thing that we find out is that Luffy said something that we knew this already from the chapter of Roger and Whitebeard, where Roger said something. We don't know what he said, but he had Whitebeard laughing, basically, that he had said that, more of like, oh, you're such a child, like you childish mindset kind of thing. And we don't know what it is. And it's not to be the Pirate King. Because at that point there was not a Pirate King. As far as we know, there was no such thing as a Pirate King. And when he said this phrase to Whitebeard, he found it funny. And we don't know what he said, and Ace just said it the same thing to Yamato, to say, hey, this is my brother's dream. But we know Luffy's dream is to be the Pirate King, so it can't be just that. And the reason I know it's not just to be a Pirate King, it could have made sense previously, because Pirate King was not a thing that was established before, as far as we know, when Roger said it. So it might have been something silly to say at the time, like, hey, I want to be Pirate King, when there's never been such a title. But if Luffy said he wants to be a Pirate King, of course it would be something weird. It'd be something weird for a kid to say. But at the same time, it's not impossible, because that is a title to be held and anybody could get it. Of course, when you hear little kids say, it's like, come on, you're just being ambitious, but not something to be like, oh, I can't believe I said that. He's just being a stupid kid, whatever. And the reason I say that is because Yamato said that was the same thing that the Pirate King said. And if it was the same thing as Luffy saying, I want to be the Pirate King, she would have mentioned that was the same thing the Pirate King said. Just the way she worded it, it seemed like it was something else. And if I had to speculate or think about what that is, it'll probably be like, unite the world, or because Luffy, we know Luffy's biggest thing in this world is to have ultimate freedom, to be the most free. That's what it means to him to be the Pirate King. And of course, he would want the same thing for the rest of the world. So with no oppression and just freedom and being able to live the life the way you want to. Of course, I think in the grand scheme of things, that's a little bit naive, and people should be free, but there's always going to be a governing body that set rules and guidelines so that you don't infringe on somebody else's freedom. Typically, that's usually why laws are around, is so you don't infringe on somebody else's freedom, or so you don't cause any harm to somebody else's livelihood, life, or whatever the case may be. But this is a manga. After the end credit, everybody lives happily ever after is basically what they say at the end of the story. So he could accomplish that to where everybody lives free without oppression, at least from the world government, as far as we know. The world government is the oppressing body in this story. But as a kid, I don't think Luffy would be thinking about the world government and knowing what they. Now he knows way more about how the world works. So, don't know what it is, but I think just as a kid, it's like for everybody to be free and live their life. That would be my bet on what he said. So we go up there, and gosh, this was a beautiful, full page, double spreadsheet of basically Kaido and Big Mom on one side, and you have Law, which is funny to me because Law is literally chilling on a rock, like as cool as a cucumber. This dude's just cool. He's just chilling. But to me, it's like weird. Did they just stay there and wait until Luffy got there? Possibly, but like, what if Luffy didn't come for another hour? Are they just gonna be staring at each other? But okay. So we have Law chilling as a cucumber on a rock. Look cool. Zoro just readying up, just standing there, arms crossed, and then Luffy in the middle of them. Then we have Killer, and then we have Kid, and on the other side, like I said, we had Kaido and Big Mom. Beautiful panel, man. It looked really good. I love it. So everybody's just ready to go. Of course, Kid, Kid is boisterous, and he's like, hey, you guys are ready to watch me fight? Which I assume all right, prediction time right now. Kid's gonna be the first one to die or be put out of commission, in my opinion. Kid, then Law, Killer, Zoro, and Luffy last. Yeah, I think it's like that. I think it would be, yeah, Kid. I'm thinking Law is gonna be there last, just because we know the infinity. I think he's gonna be great sustain or healing power for Luffy, because I don't see the five of them beating Kaido or Big Mom. Honestly, I couldn't see the five of them beating Big Mom alone, to be completely honest with you. I think, is it possible? Yeah, but I think that's a tall order for them to beat Big Mom. And definitely, I don't see them beating Kaido. Oh, five of them versus Kaido, not beating them. Because if the 9 scabbards, which I guess, it was 9 of them total, I think. If they couldn't beat Kaido, they nicked him and scratched him and, that kind of stuff. But they still, Kaido's no sweating. Kaido was chilling. Kaido's like, yo, done already? So the 5 of them, I think in strength, they're equivalent or a little bit. They're like 1 grade higher than the 9 scabbards total, I would say. And I don't see them winning. But to say Law, I feel like Law, like his ability is so freaking OP. How does Law not like one-shot anybody or kill anybody in the verse? Like, I feel like Oda has to be so creative to nerf Law. He just has to be so creative. I don't know how, like, he when you're in his room, he has absolute control over anything. And Law is a very intelligent person. He's a doctor, for crying out loud. He's very intelligent. I don't know how he does not use his fruit more effectively, but that's beside the point. I don't see them winning this fight. So I would like to see how Oda portrayed this. I would have liked it better if it was just Kaido versus the 5 of them, and Big Mom was not in this, this arc at all. But I think Oda might be trying to basically, I guess, speed up the story. And since we didn't beat Big Mom, and it was not even possible to beat Big Mom last arc, so I'm guessing at this point he's just trying to speed up the story to make sure we get 2 birds, 1 stone, and then we could jump to the other warlord, not warlords, but emperors. I'm thinking that's what he's doing because this is the versus the Emperor saga. Hmm, we'll see. Oda's a great writer, so he'll figure it out. Uh, all right. So one thing I noticed as well with Big Mom, Prometheus is very small. I don't know. He's like a happy son. Like I don't remember. Like in Totland, was he able to just transform, or did he need to eat fire to get like big and scary? Cause Zeus is looking like he's ready for it. He's ready. He's ready for the shits. You know, he's ready to go. But Prometheus is just looking like, hey guys, what's going on? So I don't know. I don't know why is he so small. Like why is he like Because I believe last chapter, I probably should have looked before I said this, but I believe last chapter he was just feasting on like Kaido's fire that he was creating or whatever. So who knows? But we have Luffy walking past the two Yonkos basically. He walks past them like it's nothing. Like I'm telling you, Luffy was looking fuego. He was looking good this chapter. My dude was looking good. He just walked in between the two warlords. I don't know if they just seems crazy to me that they just let him walk past him. And that's because Kaido, like, he got the vein on his forehead and everything. And I'm like, he's still, like, you just gonna let him walk past you? What the fuck is going on? But whatever. We're just gonna skip past it because I don't see any world except for the cool shot that this would happen. And I think I would have just wanted to have that cool moment. And I will say, the little long coat on Luffy, I like that. He's looking like a real, like, top tier fighter in this verse right now. He's looking nice. He's looking clean. So we get Luffy to Kinemon, right? And Kinemon, he's not dead yet. I don't know. All the Skyrays could die for all I care, to be honest, man. I sympathize with their fight, but I'm like, I don't really care much for them. Even though I've been with Kinemon, like, we've been with Kinemon for damn near, I don't know. It's been a very long time. I'd say if I had to guess, like a good 400 chapters, maybe less or more. I don't know, but we've been with them for a while. Ever since we left Fishman Island, we've been with Kinemon, and honestly, I don't really care what happens to Kinemon or whatever. We find out that Kinemon is dead, and a lot of them, they look in like just to be knocked out. I don't think any of them are dead based on the images we see. Nobody looks like bad. They all look like their eyes are glazed out, and they have the line through their eyes to show like knocked out or whatever. Kiku looks the cleanest, to be honest, but we do know she lost an arm last like 2 chapters ago, that fire chapter with Zoro. So basically Kinemon is crying and just saying, hey, Luffy, could you please help us? Like, typical Luffy help us scene in most arcs. There's always that arc where the person on the island or the person that they're with pleads with Luffy and asks them to help, or ask them to like, yo, I can't do this, I need you to do it. And this is basically the scene we get. It is heartfelt, it is emotional, because knowing why they're fighting or the reason they're fighting to avenge, and then for all of them to die, I could understand the pain and hurt that they all are feeling or going through, that they could have avenged their master or the person who gave them a chance when nobody else would, the person that was just there for them. That is sentimental, and I get it. So Kaido, like, literally Kaido didn't do anything when he was walking past him, but he definitely wanted to attack Luffy now. So Luffy tells Law to bring them all like below, to like use his room to move them all below. And this is why I say Luffy just looks good this chapter. Like, just in general, he just looks clean, to where Luffy was literally commanding them to where he could command Law. He felt like a leader commanding Law, like, hey, just send him into the bottom. Like, he just looked clean. Yeah, I liked it. I liked the authority that he exuded. My boy was just Luffy was looking so cool this chapter, man. I can't even lie. So Kaido tries to swing his club at Luffy. I don't think it's the Thunder Bagua or anything like that. It's not a name attack. It's just a regular swing from what we can tell. Luffy basically jumps in there and I could have sworn that Luffy could do gear third now without blowing into his finger. But he did gear third with blowing into his finger. So I don't know if I'm just misremembering. Like I said, I'm casual, you know. So I don't remember if he used to do that, or if I'm just misremember he still had to blow into his stomach, like blow his bones. That sounded bad, but y'all know what I mean. And I think he combined gear second and gear third in this because he has a new attack, Red Rock, which is similar to the Red Hawk, which is gear second, ornament hockey, and basically punching you real fast. It's a bullet. That's a gum bullet or a gum rifle. One of them, gum rifle or gum bullet, with gear second and ornament hockey. And Luffy was able to do the Red Hawk, so basically he just got a giant. He made his hand giant, and actually, I don't know if it did damage to. Yep, it did damage to Kaido. I'm looking at the chapter now. He definitely did damage to Kaido. It's kind of like caught Kaido off guard. This is reminiscent of the time when Luffy basically punched Kaido in his dragon form right in the top of his head, like, and then sequentially he gets one-shotted by Kaido immediately. But this time is different. I don't know if he's reusing Rio on this attack to where he was able to bypass Kaido's like exterior defense, but it went through. It made some damage, and Big Mom is like surprised, like, yo, how were you able, like, what are you doing, Kaido? How you let this little punk cause damage to you? And this is where we get our hat on the head, famous "I'ma be the Pirate King" speech from Luffy. And great chapter. Everything was great. It was to the point. So rating this chapter, I would like to say that I'd give it a 8.5, 9. Like, Luffy's demeanor really brought it up, man. Like, when Luffy wants to be cool, he is cool. So, because Luffy is not my favorite character in this story. He's the main character, but he's not my favorite character. He doesn't exude cool all the time, but when he does it, only if you could do it like him. So I'll say 8.5, 9. So I guess 8.75. 8.75. Let's meet it in the middle. So let's do some predictions for next chapter of what I think is going to do, what's going to happen. So, and do remember, we do have a break next week, so we won't have a chapter until 2 weeks from now, which sucks, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I think it's for holiday reasons. So, what do I think is going to happen next chapter? I'm hoping that we stay with this fight and some kind of tussle happens. Kaido, gets back up like, oh, you looks like you've improved since the last time we've met. And I'm thinking he's probably going to try to do a Thunder Bagua, a Luffy. It would be cool to see Luffy dodge it, but I'd like Luffy to get hit by it and not get KO'd this time, and not take as much damage. Like, he uses gears, use ornament to block it a little bit and still get damage, get pushed back a bit, but nothing nearly as bad as the first time he got hit with it. So yeah, we're gonna stay. Nothing we won't stay with this fight. I would love if we go to Marine headquarters and get some more like exposition on the world. I'd like to, at this point, get like some more information on rocks, maybe. Yeah, so some more information on rocks. But all things considered, we probably won't get any like Rock's flashback until like a few chapters into a fight with Kaido, closely to when Kaido's probably about to lose or go down or give up, whatever the case may be. I think that's when we're gonna get a Rock's information. But I would love to see maybe some kind of telling of like, because we know that people are coming. It's either the Marines or some other people, some third party in this war is gonna come through. And I would just like to see maybe next week we get something like that. Maybe if it's Blackbeard or whatever the case may be, somebody has to come. I don't know if it's gonna be next chapter though. But yeah, that's what I'm expecting for next chapter. Thanks for coming on, guys. I really appreciate it, and
I'm out of here.